Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Danny here, and today I'm bringing you guys a little bit of a gameplay commentary. This game was a little old. I think I had it a couple weeks ago, back when Deathmatch Domination I think was still just, or not just launched, but I think it was the second time that it came had returned, and it's pretty all right. We managed to make a fake level 1000 YouTube Korean leave, so that was kind of cool. He was playing really annoying the game before this, and so later on it just became, or he was in our game multiple times actually, but our goal just became to make the guy rage quit, which spoilers, we do manage to do it. But yeah, so topic I wanted to cover really short today, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter video, or I think all my videos are generally this length anyways, is that Black Ops 5 apparently has been unofficially announced, I guess, if that's the correct term for it. Apparently, from what people are saying, is that Black Ops 5 has, how do I put this, undergone some new management, if you will. So obviously we know that the Call of Duty cycle used to be two developers, Treyarch and Infinity Ward, that used to, you know, sort of like ping pong, you know, Call of Duties every other year, you know. 1 year it'd be Treyarch, the next year it'd be Infinity Ward, so on and so forth. However, ever since after the release of what I believe is Ghosts, Advanced Warfare was thrown into the mix. So now it's Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, and then Treyarch. And of course, now that we had just gotten the Treyarchs, now we're gonna get Infinity Ward's next game for 2019. However, Black Ops 5 is not gonna be this upcoming Call of Duty, but the Call of Duty after that, which is breaking once again the 3-year cycle. Now, apparently, according to the sources, they say that Raven Studios, which is the people who remastered Modern Warfare or COD 4, and I also believe that they worked a lot. They helped Infinity Ward pick up the slack during Modern Warfare 3 because apparently during the development of Modern Warfare 3, Infinity Ward was undergoing some huge reconstruction and a lot of legal issues in between the leaders and Activision themselves, and so therefore they didn't have as much time to not only just, you know, update Modern Warfare 2, hence why its lack of support and its like buggy nature, but Modern Warfare 3 as well, you know, the development was kind of development hell apparently. So just something to keep in mind as far as history of COD goes. It's not the first time that this development sort of staggering has happened to COD, but this is something that is sort of concerning, right? Obviously, Black Ops 4 had sort of undergone the same thing, but the thing is that Treyarch undertook this all by themselves, or at least I believe they did. I'm not sure if any other teams had helped them. I believe some other teams might have, like, you know, pitched in and helped them out, you know, with the game, but I think for the most part, Treyarch definitely was the head honcho at doing everything. Now, personally, what worries me is that Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer had butted heads, basically, I think on directions of the game or something like that, and now the game is sort of in a mess. Now, I don't know if they're going to scrap everything and say, let's start new, but Treyarch's coming in to basically help them clean up this mess. Now, this also changes the 3-year cycle, right? Because Treyarch now doesn't get, you know, 3 years to work on their game. They're back to that 2-year cycle. Now, they should be used to it, but once you're planning to build a game for, you know, taking 3 years to build a game, then suddenly, you know, your plans are cut short. Things are going to get cut and things are going to be missing, similar to what happened to Black Ops 4. Now, Black Ops 4 just had, you know, playtester play it, and people saying that it just was too much like Overwatch, apparently, and so people didn't like it, and therefore, you know, Call of Duty or Treyarch had to basically scrap everything halfway through. But in this case, they're basically picking up right where another team left off. And so, you know, we don't know how far in development you know, Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer are. And first things first too is that it's or not Infinity Ward, I'm sorry, Raven. It's really interesting to me that Sledgehammer would need extra help. I didn't think that they needed it. I just didn't think that, you know, World War II, I mean, World War II was a bad game. I just didn't like it, and I guess getting extra help is nice, but I don't think it was development team, like, manpower that was the problem, you know? So, don't know what was the behind the scenes there and what went wrong, but, you know, now that they've announced that Treyarch is doing it, and apparently Black Ops 5 is, I believe, the code name for it, or I don't know if it's even called a code name, it just might be called Black Ops 5. you know, I don't know how I feel about that. But either way, that's kind of the situation that's going on right now. You know, I think the development cycle has sort of been thrown away. You know, nothing bad has like come out from Infinity Ward, so I think this year's COD has potential. It's either it has a lot of potential and they're trying to not break the hype for Black Ops 4 or not trying to not hurt the game itself, or Modern Warfare 4 is also in some shit show that they're actually not even capable of showing gameplay. We'll have to see. I know E3 is coming up, and apparently Infinity Ward is going to hold a panel for it, and so, you know, I think it'll be very interesting then. But currently, we just really don't know anything about it, and it's crazy to me that, you know, we're getting information about a COD game that's, you know, 2 years down the line, you know, or I guess a year and a half down the line, however long it is from now. And I don't know, it's worrisome. You know, Black Ops 4 is, to say the least, an unfinished game. I think, and don't get me wrong, I love the game. I think it's probably my favorite Call of Duty of all time. Just the gunplay, the fluidity of the game, and the manual healing. Just the skill that it requires to get good at the game is vastly, or not vastly different, but it's just more difficult to get good at, I guess, if that's the case. Crazy how you could say that it's hard to get good at COD, but it's the case with this one. You know, I think it just requires different or more skill to play, at least in my opinion. But either way, you know, I think that I really don't want to see another contentless, you know, Black Ops again. I'm very worried about it. Now, I do know that they're probably going to maintain their campaign. They're probably going to reuse a lot of the things that have already been set in stone. But, you know, like I said, right, as people just love Call of Duty. I mean, I love playing Call of Duty, but hearing this happen news sort of, you know, is a little bit worrisome. It's a little bit worrisome. You know, and I also have to wonder too, is, you know, Activision letting this leak slip or something, or are they sort of just telling people to brace for impact, or what's the game plan here, you know? I don't know. Just very different things that I've thought about when I first heard this news. You know, they still have a lot of time, and keep in mind that they have Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Raven Studios working on it, and so that's a lot of manpower. And so with that much power behind it, you know, maybe they could come up with something really amazing. Now, according to the article as well, basically they also, Treyarch is, you know, a little bit worried, you know, or frustrated that, you know, they're suddenly thrown into this again, but or not thrown into it again, but they're thrown into a situation where they sort of have to come clean things up again, and, you know, they sort of have to patch things up as soon as possible, you know, or stop the bleeding, you know. But at the same time, there's also the side that they say that there's more resources and they have a better direction, and they already know what their end goal is going to be, and this time it's not going to be like scrapped halfway through. So some are excited, some are sort of nervous, but we'll have to see where it turns out. You know, personally, I think the focus should still be on Modern Warfare 4 for me. You know, I think that's the game that I'm really excited for. You know, they have a good chance to really knock it out of the park here. Put in the good gunplay of this game, bring back manual healing, you know, put a lot of content in it and not locked behind paywalls, and I think the game's going to be good. But on that note, though, I'll leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Cap this fucking C flag for the points, dude.
Fucking strike team.
Oh, let's go, dude. I got the tack heal in too.
Mission objectives green across the board.
Freaking strike kings, man.
You should run it with us too, Brandon. Then we'll get a 12-man team.
Yo. You think I'd last long enough to get one?